Hey guys, before I begin, I have a confession to make. Today is technically day 5. It's hard to keep track of the days. They all sort of blur together, but I did not make a video yesterday because I spent most of the day yesterday on a bus. 2 buses, actually. I was supposed to have caught the 8:30 a.m. bus from Ho Chi Minh City to Phnom Penh, and I missed it. I was 12 minutes late because the GPS got messed up on my phone and I couldn't recalibrate my compass in time, and I ended up on the wrong side of the city. So, I missed the 8:30 bus that I had paid for. Luckily, the lady at the travel agency was very kind and allowed me to move my ticket up to the 12:30 bus for a discounted rate. So I had a few hours to kill after that. I had already checked out of my hostel. So I sat in a cafe and I wrote down the following observations that I want to share with you guys. Number 1, Ho Chi Minh City loves their propaganda. At the Cu Chi tunnels, they make you watch this video from, I don't even know when, the 70s, the 80s. They make every single tour group watch the same exact video every single time, all day, every day, for years and years, the same video. It's a propaganda video about, the aggressive American attack and the Viet Cong doing all they could to defend themselves. We were lucky enough to be able to watch it on the bus on the way there, so we didn't have to waste time once we got to the park watching it. And honestly, I could barely hear it over the loudspeakers, but you got the gist of it. And then we went on the Heineken tour at the top of the Texco building or whatever, and that whole thing was just nothing but propaganda. Like, they wouldn't let us skip any part of the tour. They made sure that we were listening every time. If we started chit-chatting amongst ourselves, the tour guide would stop talking like a teacher with a naughty class and wait until we realized that he was silent, and then he would continue. And then the way that they speak of their flag and their government officials, it's all just super rehearsed and a little bit brainwashy. Lots of propaganda. Just an interesting observation. Second observation, all the school children are dressed like anime characters. Little Japanime characters with their little white sailor shirts and their red ties and their little blue pants or blue skirts or whatever that you see. These kids all over the city, we would see them getting out of school for the day, running down the sidewalk or whatever. They're actually really adorable. I'm saying this, they're really cute. They have the little school kid costumes on and they're just so cute. The third observation, they have a thing about wrapping the lids of things. For some reason, it makes them feel like it's more sanitary or something. So every bottle of water you get has a wrapper around the lid that you have to peel off, and then all the beer bottles have foil wrappers on them. I don't know what that's about, because they'll actually reuse the drinking straw that they give you with your drink. They'll take it back and wash it and reuse it for the next person. I'm so glad I got all my hepatitis vaccinations before I came. And there's an alarming lack of napkins at eating establishments. One place I went to had a picnic table that was just shared by a bunch of different random strangers, and in the middle they had one chamois cloth for everyone to sort of wipe their fingers on. No napkins. At the end of the meal, they'll bring you a warm, a moist towelette in a package kind of thing, one of those big wipies to finish wiping off or whatever. But for the duration of your meal, if you spill something or get something on your face or get something on your hands, I don't know, you're on your own. That's what pants are for, I suppose. And everything else about the city is dirty and stinky and smelly and germy, and their traffic laws are vague and rarely enforced. There's no rules whatsoever pertaining to sidewalks. Let's see, you park your motorbike, you drive your motorbike, you unload your motorbike, you dump your trash, you leave your piles of construction materials, you take a nap on a case of beer, you set up a card game or a portable stove, you invite your buddies to pull up chairs, whatever. Pedestrians can walk around you. There's plenty of space in the street, I guess. Nobody walks, so their sidewalks are just clogged with shit. Number 4, this is the best. It is so funny watching Western men get annoyed by the street sellers. So there are these people that come around and try to sell you stuff when you're sitting outdoors in a sidewalk cafe or whatever. Most people sit outside of the restaurants. There's tons of tables and chairs everywhere, and you just kind of plop down and eat and drink. And while you're out there, you'll be pestered by dozens of people, usually women, like trying to sell things. They have like bracelets and lighters and packets of travel tissues and just whatever they can think of to sell you. And they'll come right up to you and really like, a lot of them are very persistent, like you buy, and they'll try to bargain with you like $5, but for you $3 or whatever. And it's so funny because in their culture, you must be polite and smile. Saving face is a huge part of the Vietnamese culture. Like no one yells, nobody cries. You just sort of have to smile and be polite, right? So when they come by, you have to be like, no, thank you. I don't want any. Thank you. Thank you. Right? And sometimes they'll go away and sometimes they'll stay there and you have to either ignore them or just keep saying, no, thank you. And they'll finally leave. The Western dudes, like there was a Irish guy that was at our table the other night, that guy Brandon, and he was getting so angry when people would come up to him and ask him. He was getting more and more frustrated and flustered. And he's like, I'm just trying to have a good time and enjoy a meal with my friends. And these people just keep bothering me and pestering me. And I was like, what's that like? Tell me what that's like. I wonder. Because as a woman, I've spent the last 34 years smiling and looking someone in the eye and being like, no, thank you. I'm not interested. I have one already. Thank you. No, I don't want that. Thank you. It's second nature to me. It's an instinct. So I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, oh, do you feel like a little bit pressured and maybe even kind of vulnerable and insecure about what these people may or may not do when you say no? And there's so many of them and you're just trying to walk down the sidewalk and they're asking you if you want marijuana or a ride on a motorbike or if you want them to fix your shoes, and they're interrupting your conversation and they're bothering you and they're making you feel uncomfortable. Is that awful for you? I'm so sorry. Like, I thought that was hilarious. What else? I went on and on about that one. That's for another time. Oh, there's no response to sneezing in Vietnam. Nobody says bless you. I said bless you a couple of times when people sneezed, and I just got like strange looks. So I finally Wikipedia'd it. Nothing happens when you sneeze here. It sounds like a little thing, but it's kind of difficult to get used to. So those are the observations I wrote down in the cafe while I was waiting to go get my bus. And then I actually, when I was done there, I ran to Saigon Square, which is a big indoor market similar to the Ben Thanh market. And I got this cute little t-shirt dress. It has pockets. I love pockets. I got this. I haggled. I was good. I was going to get a pair of shoes, but then I was like, oh no, I'm running late and I don't want to miss the second friggin' bus. I made it just in time for the bus, got on the bus, and immediately made a friend named Ifa. She's from the Czech Republic, but she lives half the year in India, and she has a really crazy story. She's such an amazing person. More about her later. So we became fast friends on the bus from Ho Chi Minh City to Phnom Penh. It dropped us off in Phnom Penh around, I want to say 7 or 7:30 at night. So it was about a 7-hour bus ride. There's a clip already on my YouTube page, just a quick clip of out the window, like the countryside in Cambodia. It's like nothing you've ever seen. But yeah, so when we got to Phnom Penh, actually my Australian friend Sean had gotten the bus the day before and was already there. So I messaged him real quick from the bus and was like, hey, we'll be there at 7:30. He surprised us by waiting at the bus station for us and then grabbed a tuk-tuk. He had already like made friends with the driver and seen the whole city all day and brought us to like the coolest rooftop bar. They had just wrapped up in Phnom Penh. They had just wrapped up their like water festival where they light a bunch of stuff and float it down the river. So all like the lights and streamers and lanterns and stuff were just being taken down. So it wasn't completely decorated like it had probably been last week or whatever, but it was still really, really pretty. There was a lot going on. And yeah, we went up, the three of us, we went up and had a meal, which was delicious, and a few beers in this rooftop restaurant before Ifa and I said goodbye to Sean, and then we had to catch our 10:30 bus. And actually, I had a ticket for the 10:30 bus from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, and Ifa had a ticket for the 11 o'clock bus from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap, but she and I were having so much fun that she snuck onto my bus successfully. So we got to ride the bus together here to Siem Reap. That was last night, and it was a sleeper bus, so it's like these narrow little uncomfortable cots, like one tiny step up from what you'd find in like a prison cell, these cots. And they're bunk beds, you know, and you're assigned one before you get on the bus. So you find your cot and there's like a blanket and a pillow. They turn off all the lights and they drive all night from Phnom Penh to Siem Reap. So that was my day yesterday. Mostly bus rides and switching buses and whatnot. It was just kind of a drag. I could not sleep on the sleeper bus. I think I was the only human being that was awake the entire time on the bus. But anyway, so that was day 4, and the next video will be same background, same outfit, but day 5. So sorry for the confusion. I'll get back with y'all in a little bit.